Let's take you to the fishing industry because players there want government to invest heavily in that sector to restore it to its past glory. Our reporter Fred Duho has more in this report.
According to graphic reports, we understand that out of 76 commercial vessels, or in terms of trawlers, that goes on high seas to bring fish for our consumption, only 4 are currently operational, and that is some form of crisis at hand. So far, the amount of fish stock that normally comes from these trawlers has actually declined about 50%. The fisher folks here in Tema, in the fishing harbor, are basically complaining that certain things are not going right, and they believe if the government can intervene, especially with the fuel and then the forex exchange, that is really going to impact positively on how much we go out there to buy the fish for our consumption. It's now the turn of the market women who come here to purchase fish here in the market, basically before they take it to the bigger one to sell to the public.
Oh, I shama nyonyomolo petro ba niko ba iji no yamu na nekakpoma ke petro fa ko ba odum ha gama value du comme ça san mi plan la han la do ko chi mi agbo mi ga pon la vi sere ko ai gaji e fo ko mi avanyi ala via de lo de gagba mo be 5 million 12 million 20 million ta mi ji ba shane didi na mi de nyo han mi akpo de ji am ye pogo afo ko nyi mi ele
ni ne do ya la fia fifilai
he la fia goji a maraku 2 million
e kenye 2 million na
maraku enya papa pe
amea wo me ni nyi la fia
ome ne mala fi ma 2 million fia mu gana no kadam clan petro an ijita mu gana ne kakpomu.
That is one of the women or the traders there who actually is sharing some sentiments, telling us that the things are expensive. Mommy, how are you?
I'm okay.
What are you here to do?
I'm selling fish.
Okay. Which one are you selling?
Odre.
This one's here?
Yeah.
How much are you selling it?
This one is 15 million, which is 1,500.
Hey. That is expensive.
Expensive.
Why is it that expensive?
This one there is expensive fish.
This what?
It's expensive fish. Nibuedi, where they are Nibuedi, because we say crate, no. Sometimes cost, sometimes we have to make back for. Omonya no bebrea. Nibuano ewo from kakaba, so we say ene omo anyabi nti nibuedi.
We are now here basically to speak to the energetic men who take these heavy boats to high seas and spend man hours, basically overnight sometimes, to bring in the fishes that we consume in our various homes. Now, most of them are complaining that the situation is not quite good in terms of the amount of catch they bring to inland for us to consume. Now, let's do this conversation and speak to one of the fishermen here. When was the last time you went to sea actually?
The problem comes the net. So that is shown that now the canoe people there your problems the oil. Yes.
When you say oil, premise fuel.
Oil be hard, so the no get money no go buy them.
How much did they buy 1 gallon before, and how much did they buy them now?
The yellow car, the yellow one, almost 5 point something. That drum almost the 50 million. 5,000
Ghana cedis.
Yes, sir.
So if you take, let's say, how much of a quantity do you need to go on high sea? How many gallons do you need to go on high seas?
The 5 gallon, the square.
Now, how much quantity do you bring to sell to the fish, the women?
The fish, if you go see them, they fit to net, but they net inside. So if you can't bear, they sell the women. Okay. Yeah, the canoe, the wife, they buy the fish. They give you Igbo people.
The main concerns here has usually been the issue of premix fuel for the outboard motors to power their machines to be able to go on high seas. Now let's do a brief conversation with the chief fisherman who actually leads the people here in terms of policy, in terms of implementation of policies, and again, as far as the concerns of the fisher folks are concerned.
Since from July, the trawlers are not there. So we are supposed to get more fish, but we are not getting. It tells us that the catches or the species there has declined.
We understand premise fuel is one of the key issues you normally face. How has that really impacted your operations?
Yes, now about 4 months ago, we are not receiving premix, not at Tema alone, but throughout the coast. We are not receiving premix, and the premix also lowers our cost because it has been subsidized. But almost 4 months, we are not getting the premix. So we are crying to the government to implement the premix back to the fishers.
Some of the women who actually throng these premises, and this is actually the company We2 Seafoods, and they normally import fish and also buy from the trawlers here in Ghana. And these women basically come to buy here and then take to their co-store before the K seller also grabs a piece. What are you here to do?
I'm here to buy some fish to my co-store.
What kind of fish do you buy?
Any type of fish, I buy it.
Now, in terms of buying fish, last year and this year, what has changed?
The difference is too much. Please, can I speak?
Go ahead, just speak.
Okay. Difference no surprise. If you say last year, na nama you to me turn to say be 450 no. This time around, you to me turn to 1,200. A year of fish. Last year, roughly 500. This year, right now, 1,200.
You are buying 10 cartons.
Yes.
Is that all you could afford? Don't worry. Is that all you could afford?
Yes, because the prices has gone up, so we can't buy plenty now.
How much is a carton?
This one is 610.
610 cedis. Are you taking it to a cold store? You are selling to some occasion?
Take it to my school store.
It's not easy to buy because they are increasing the fish too much. The industry now, because of the taxes that they put on the duty, and so anytime that you come back to buy to the industry to buy, and or you go to the cold store to buy, they're increasing the fish. Every blessed day they're increasing the fish.
The price.
The prices every day. Every day there is a they increase. The money that they'll be putting on to, it's not that just that small, the percentage is too much.
We are still continuing the conversation around the fisheries industry, and we understand that a number of stakeholders are worried about the current happenings in the industry. We are currently at the National Fisheries Association of Ghana to speak to the General Secretary.
From the close season, there's been a series of activities which also include the standard requirement by the Maritime Authority that has kept them off the vessel. Some of the vessels have started moving out. They want to deflag, take on some other national flags. So by January, we'll have a clearer picture as to exactly where we are in terms of the numbers that are eligible to fish. And so we can now then speak to the issues that, well, we only have 20 vessels that are fishing out of the 70, and what are the factors? Is it that they couldn't meet GMA standards? If they couldn't meet GMA standards, what do we do? Is it that they could not meet the gear requirement? Is that there are fuel issues that are in there? Because from January, some of the vessels were already not fishing because they could not buy fuel. Fuel is about 70% of operational cost. And so you go fishing today, you come tomorrow, and then the fuel prices are way up beyond what you imagined, and then you are not able to bunker to go fishing. So fuel prices are also a factor.
Now let's talk to the board chairman of the Trawlers Association and to give us some perspective as to what really is happening in the fishing industry as far as trawlers are concerned. We understand only 4 commercial trawlers out of 76 are currently operational.
If you look at the cost build-up of all sectors, tuna, trawlers, canoe, inshore, one common denominator of a cost item makes it almost impossible for all sectors not to be profitable, and that's fuel. So if we address the issue of fuel, and sitting here, if you ask me what should be done, there are a few ideas that we float around. If we want to make price of fish a bit more affordable, then we should take a critical look at fuel. Because of the conditions in which we operate, is it possible for government to fix the SN rate at a particular rate? For me, you can define it or you can explain it, and the bottom line is somebody will have to pay for the difference. So it will still be the same subsidy.
When the prices of fuel goes down, that will bring some respite to the fishermen, and that will really trickle down to how much that is going to be sold to them here in the fish market. My name is Fred Duho, reporting from Tema Fishing Yard for Citi News.